Okay, so basically as of now, we'd look for price to shift below the previous low with a bullish order block. So if we get that, then cool, we take shorts. If we start to see a shift, then I'll look at my bias, start to update that. Yeah, also the part for the monitor, which to put on the wall, arrived today. By the time I got to the office, it was closed. So I'll get that tomorrow. I'm going to be fitting it on the weekend. And then, as I said, we're going to be looking at passing the Tradify accounts on Friday. And then, if not, on Tuesday, the week after. And then, if not, it'll be at a New York Open. Yeah, so obviously no positions as of now. We'll just wait for price to give us an opportunity for shorts and kind of relook at our bias here a little bit as well. Simple stuff, guys, simple stuff. But yeah, it'd be good to see you guys in the backtesting session today as well. Obviously, we're going to go through the whole of December, so then 2025 will be complete and completed for the second time. And then by the end of this week, I would have implemented London and the PM session, and then going into next week, we'll be monitoring the London, New York, and the PM session every single day. And we also will still monitor after a winning trade as well, so regardless. PM will be late. No, not really, not too bad. It's like 2 AM. Like for me, that's very normal. What time do I wake up? I wake up around like 10, 11 AM. Yeah, some people are having issues with audio, and the majority of you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna restart Discord after this macro. So we'll monitor this macro, and then between the first and the second, we'll restart the Discord. Yeah, there's 2 London macros. So it's 1:45. $2.15 and 2:45. No, it's 2:45. My bad. 2:45. 3:15 and 3:45. Yeah, that's the London macros. Okay, so let's see if we get a shift in structure here. Okay, so for ES, that's not a shift in structure, it's the same level. So ES actually can't shift structure anyway until this area. So essentially ES needs to put in a short-term low to actually shift. So likely scenario of what we'll probably see towards the 2nd AM is we haven't seen too aggressive of a move. I mean, it's not like the biggest move ever, but we could see some sort of accumulation or price to seek buy side. I'd say this would be the objective, and then for the 2nd AM we can get an opportunity for shorts. I mean, regardless of what happens, we'll still be looking for shorts, and then we'll work around the current price action. Yeah, as soon as we get to 10:12, I'll restart the Discord, and then I'll see if the people who can't hear me now can hear. Let me see if they're still having issues. I mean, if it's only one person, we won't restart. Because there's usually always one person anyway. Yeah, so you can see ES put in a short-term low there, so it's still possible we see a shift lower in structure. Slight SMT at the high, and then we can look for a shift below that short-term low. Bullish order block as well. Yeah, he's saying he can't hear, but his username's trans. Might be why. Maybe he's trans. Who knows? Or maybe it's because he's in Dubai. I don't know, his profile picture looks like he might be in Saudi Arabia, and Dubai, Discord's banned. So maybe he needs to use a VPN. So he's either trans or he's in Dubai, so you might have to use a VPN. You don't know. You got to be careful these days. Are you back now, brother? Trans Zionist. Okay, so NQ's starting to shift structure, which is good. So the 15's bearish, the hourly's bearish. Four hours neutral and the daily's bearish, so we got a bearish bias. So that's a failed shift on ES. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, we have a shift in structure, potential gap, inverse order block, but ES hasn't shifted yet, so we'll see if we get a shift on ES. Otherwise it'll be a failed shift. It will likely end us the first day of macro, and then I'm gonna head to the shop to grab a few things, and then we'll be back for the second AM macro. And of course, after this stream, you know, we are going straight into a backtesting session as well. So that's a confirmed failed shift in structure on ES. Okay. So don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of ICT traders would be taking a short here, as you guys have seen. But our backtesting and forward testing speaks for itself, doesn't it? In this scenario, where would the IV be? It would be this low here. This one, right? So that's the first low that price is shifting below. This is the second low, and this is the third low, which you wouldn't want price to shift below. Okay. So essentially we can still see price to shift on ES if this candle was to close below and shift. Okay. But you can see it didn't. So it's just a failed shift. So ES is reaching back towards buy stops. Yeah, so the thing is, right, a lot of people do ask quite a lot of questions when we are live, and they start panicking. They'll say, oh, what's this, or what's this, and what's this? It's very good to ask these questions when we're backtesting, because we do go over probably about 30 trades in one backtesting session, so around 15 to 30 trades. That's your time to ask, you know, and you guys have asked very good questions there, which is great. But yeah, as of now, you know, you've seen this many times. So ES failed to shift structure. It's going to reach buy stops, right? More times than not. NQ shifted structure. It's not correlated with ES. Okay. Alright guys, that's the end of the first day of macro. I'm going to head to the shop, and then I'll be back in like 10 minutes. So I'm going to go hit 220 kilometers an hour, spin the shop, come back, and then we'll have a look at the second AM. Of course, we are back testing after this stream as well, and as of next week, we'll be monitoring London, New York, and PM, and not stopping after a winning trade. Okay, I'll speak to you guys in a sec. Speed safely. Yeah, I will speed. Actually, now you've said that, I'm going to do the biggest wheelie that anyone's ever seen. Well, I'm actually still here. I was looking at the chat. Someone said, "Don't get a ticket, buddy. This ain't the US. We don't do tickets over here." The police know me, and it's funny that ES traded back towards the high. So there you see it, guys. ES trades back towards high. Likely, so will NQ entering some sort of accumulation period here. We'll wait for the second AM macro and look for any opportunities. I'll speak to you guys in a sec. Alright, yes guys, we're back. We're back from the shop. We've got what we needed. I just went round this corner, right? So I always go around this corner. I always question, how do people die? Because so many people die on this one corner in Pattaya. They call it the cursed corner. So I went around the cursed corner twice, and I was just trying to see, like, how the fuck do people crash around that corner? I think the corner's so perfect. The road is perfect. The only downfall really to that corner is, well, it's well lit as well. I mean, you can clearly see it at night time. But the only downfall of the corner is that there is these... so the speed limit, they've put it as a circle paint on the floor. And people who ride bikes, they know that when you have... you know, something written on the concrete, it's it doesn't grip for the tires, right? But that's not the reason why they're crashing. I just don't understand it. They're not slipping because you'd have to be at full lean on a litre bike and then hit one of the paints, and it probably wouldn't even send the front wheel to give way. Like, I mean, I go around that corner pretty fast, about 150, 160 kilometers an hour. And not even at full lean, and it's fine. I've been out that corner thousands of times. I know I know that corner very well. It's just one big curve. But someone died there, I think, a day ago. So I think it was just one person died. And then about 2 weeks before that, 2 people died. It was one American and one Thai. And then before that, I think like 50 people have died in that one corner. It's mad. Yeah, I'll show you guys the corner. Like, you wouldn't even understand why people crash. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. I've seen photos of the crashes as well. They're actually horrific. It's because there's palm trees separating. Obviously, we drive on the left-hand side of the road here, so the same as the UK. And it's only one of countries that actually drives on the left, the same as the UK. I like driving on the left, to be honest. I don't mind driving on the right, but I prefer being on the left. So, basically, this corner is just... Essentially, it's a 90-degree left, but picture it as a very slow left. So it's a very nice curve. It's a very nice, long curve, open, wide, like a motorway kind of corner. Nice, long, flat, no potholes, nothing. Nice, and it separates the left lane and the lane that comes round the other side with palm trees down the middle. And what's happened is the people who've lost traction around the corner is they've gone and hit the head on the palm tree, and that's caused people to lose half their head. But I don't know what gets them to hit the palm tree. I don't know why they would want to hit a palm tree. But also, for safety reasons, I don't know why they still have the palm trees there anyway. Why don't you put a barrier in? Something like that. You know what I mean? No, that's not it. Type in this. Pattaya, Jomtien, because I live in Jomtien, right? So Pattaya, Jomtien, I call it Jomtien, but it's actually spelled Jomtien, Curse Corner. Yeah, if you type that in, it will show, and you'll see the corner. You can go around that corner, trust me, at like 150. You can go around that corner about 150 pretty easily. Once someone finds a photo of it and puts it in the chat, you understand what I mean by 150 kilometers, by the way, not miles an hour. You couldn't do it in miles an hour. But you understand what I'm saying is, how do you even crash around that corner? I don't know. Well, it's not funny, actually, but it's kind of laughable. I mean, they're just so inexperienced. It's very sad. So I'm saying, Sean, why should we cut down the palm trees for people who can't ride bikes? You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm going to try find a photo as well, so I know what it looks like. Well, I think someone else is probably trying to find a photo, but I'll give you guys what you want. Yeah, it doesn't really show on Google. I think the Thais mostly use Facebook. Matter of fact, I'll just type in Pattaya crash. Actually, I'll type in Curse Corner Second Road. That's what it's called, Second Road. Crash. Alright, one Russian tourist 4 days ago was killed. Okay. There we go. There we go. Sharp curve. Buddy, it's not a sharp curve. It's literally such a nice corner. That's not the right one. Where is it? Right, I've got a photo of... I want to see the whole corner. Alright, I've got a photo of the corner and I've got a photo of the death. I'm going to send you guys the two photos. I'm not going to send you the death because it's not actually a death. Well, they did die, but the dead body's not there, so it's fine. I'm not going to share that. That wouldn't be too good. I know what the corner looks like, so I'll have to send it to you. You guys will understand. And you also understand where you can lose some grip on the corner, but this is probably one of the best corners in the whole of Pattaya. The best. Alright, I'll send it in the chat. I've got them here. Oh, that's it. Oh, Kevin's found it. Kevin found it. Kevin, that's the corner, mate. That's a nice photo as well. That's a nice clean... That's it, yeah. That's the corner. So I send that usually at 150. You can see it's a nice curve, nice concrete. And so many people just keep hitting these palm trees. And you can see, you see where it says 60km/h limit, right? For the motorway limit, or whatever it is. People go over this 60, and I know already that when I go over this 60 mark on the road, you can lose a bit of traction. So I stay in the middle, but I don't really go fast around that corner, to be honest. You know what I mean? How do you crash around there? Yeah, it's a bend, isn't it? It's a bend. It's not really a corner. I'll send these two photos in the chat as well. These are the ones that I found. Not as good as Kevin's. Kevin's was the best. So this was the other death. She was on a moped. Like, the moped don't go past 110km/h. I could take that flat out on a moped. Let's have a look at our bias. Yeah, what a crazy world we live in. Okay, so the daily's currently bearish. Four hours neutral. 1 hour's bearish. Okay, so the 15's neutral. And then it's bullish, because ES tapped the unfilled. And then the 5 would also be bullish here. Okay, so we've got a neutral bias as of now. So if we look at price action, we've seen a shift in structure on NQ, and then price is traded to the invalidation low. So we want price to take buy stops, and then from that point we can then look for shorts. So the bias is bullish on the 5 and 15 from the intraday imbalances on ES. So the unfilled 5 and 15 minute imbalances on ES, unfilled. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear me now. So people who had audio issues, that might be fixed. I restarted Discord, the whole app, because some people said they had an audio issue, so I just kind of rebooted it, restarted the stream. I've made $1,508 on a Top Step eval, so it should be fine. My account gone because of consistency rule. No, you're absolutely spot on. Yeah, $1,508 is absolutely perfect. So I assume you made about 1,520 or something. You trimmed it down a little bit. That's absolutely perfect, brother. Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah, so most people can hear me now, right? Should be all good. So right now we have a sweep of minor sell side. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Wait, so no one can hear me now? Oh, fuck. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear me now. Alright, cool. We've got Discord going. Lovely. Yeah, guys, I've been speaking the whole time. So yeah, right now we've got a super minor sell side. And we're looking for price to take buy stops and then form a bearish bias. And then the 5 and 15 is bullish because ES traded into unfilled 5 and 15 minute imbalances, which caused Q to be bullish on the 5 and 15. That's a bullish SMT between imbalances. Also, the trans ZNS can hear us now as well. That's good. Yeah. So nothing as of now, guys. You know, second air macro. There isn't any sweep of buy side. I mean, we got a sweep of sell side, but our bias isn't bullish, so. Yeah, it's all good, brother. Of course, you can hear me now. Sometimes you're going to have Discord issues. Maybe in the future there, clean up the server a little bit. I thought someone said something about Starmer in the UK. I mean, he's fucked, isn't he? What do you guys think about that guy? He's probably more fucked than Boris. I mean, you know, Boris, I don't know what the fuck he did for the UK, but I don't think anyone has been in the UK, ran the UK, and actually done a good job. I mean, I remember the UK to be good back in 2012. So whoever was running back in 2012, then the UK was good back then. Nah, fuck Boris. We don't need to bring Boris back. We need someone else. I think we need someone young, right? We need someone with knowledge. Someone young with knowledge and interest, and someone with a bit of common sense. Really, that's all it is. Well, what they're trying to do is, they're trying to, what do you call it? What's that word? When you have when you have a juice and then you pour water in it, less concentrated, right? I don't know. They're trying to deconcentrate Europe, so it's not Europe anymore. It's going to be a mixture of Asia, Africans, Indians, and it just doesn't have culture anymore. So you might as well just live anywhere in the world, really. I mean, it's not really the UK. When I went back to the UK, every time I go back, it's just less and less of even being in the UK anymore. So obviously the crime got really bad, and before you know it, it would just be the whole bloodline of the UK and other countries in Europe is just diminished, gone. I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, UK was shit anyway. Or Andrew Tate to run for Prime Minister in the UK. I don't think that will happen, but if it does, it will actually be a very good place. So potentially we get an hourly bullish gap in around 5 minutes, and that will form a bullish bias. I don't know why HMRC is sending me so many emails. I don't pay tax in the UK anymore. I've already blocked them. Keep sending me emails, I don't know how. Milo, so where are you from in Bournemouth? I'm from down the hill from Folkestone. So if you know Bournemouth quite well, you've got Folkestone train station, and then if you go down the hill towards the Sainsbury's, and there's a barber shop opposite the Sainsbury's. That's the best barber shop in Bournemouth. I've been going there for the past... how many? I mean, I've been going there since I was like 3 years old. The guy who runs it's called Ali. And it's called Murad's. It's the best barber shop. It's literally a walk away from my yard, where I used to stay, you know. Is he Kurdish? No, he's Turkish. Yeah, the beach isn't very good in Bournemouth. It's always cold, rains. Yeah, it's near the beach, yeah. Most of the businesses have shut down, and majority of shops in Bournemouth is just run by Turkish people. Some people were discussing about a trade in the PM session yesterday. It wasn't valid. Let's look at the hourly time frame. So the hourly is now bullish. 5's bullish. 15's bullish. So we got a bullish bias, and we look for longs here. We have a sweep of minor sell side. We'll look for price to shift higher inside of the second half of macro. Have a draw on buy stops. Yeah, so the PM session yesterday was a failed shift in structure on ES. And I seen people still took a short, which wasn't valid. Yeah, what do you mean you trade Asia? No one trades Asia, brother. Sean put a laughing emoji on Isaac's message from the 10th. What's funny about that? I mean, he's just telling you it's on the 10th. So for a shift in structure, the invalidation high, as of now, would be this high for price. And essentially it would be the 5-minute imbalance, which is actually this area here, so 701. That's when the 5 will shift back to being bearish, the 15 will be bullish, hourly bullish, and the daily is currently bearish, so it'll be a neutral bias. Yeah, a lot of people have asked the London and the PM session question probably about 1,000 times now. Probably fucking pass out if someone asks it again. Well, the Africa session, that will be coming in the new update. Yeah, sometimes the chat obviously goes a little bit off topic, but let's make sure to keep it on topic about trading. Like sometimes we discuss, but let's not go too off topic. Okay, so we got a neutral bias as of now. So you'll also see in this scenario quite a few people take longs, and obviously our bias is currently neutral, so there's no opportunity for longs here. So that's a failed shift on ES. But you wouldn't look at the third step because our bias is currently neutral, so we're just letting price trade, and it's going to take us outside of this macro on the second. We're then obviously going to wait for the lunch, and if we don't take any positions today, then there would be no positions. But as time passes, you're going to see people who get their bias off, say, the 4 hour and the hourly, or just a higher time frame bias, and they look for a model like this. So more times than not, these type of models will fail. This is why intraday and higher time frame bias together is so important. Where is this GG guy? Is he here today? How did you get out of yesterday? Oh, so he's typing. He's still alive. Mr. GG. So how's it going then? You survived yesterday. What led you to that yesterday? Have you come to a conclusion on your poor thought process yesterday? It was a poor thought process. It wasn't a rich thought process. It just makes you go broke. Makes you lose your accounts. What do you think caused it, brother? Did you come to a conclusion? Because yesterday you took how many trades? 69 trades. And I'd say you're 1 out of 5 people in the group who is doing that, so... What's the longest day? Well, you probably mean, what's the longest period of time you've gone without taking a trade? Oh, wait, I can't see your message now. What's the longest period of time you've gone without taking a trade or with consecutive losses? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, question mark. So the longest I've gone without taking a trade is about 2 weeks. So it's about 10 trading days. Okay, so 10 trading days. I've gone before without taking a position. And then the most amount of losses that I've had in a row, I know it's for sure 6, potentially 7, but I think 6. Yeah, 6 was the limit. Yeah. So after usually 3 losses, you're on half size. GG, currently in a long. I might ban you from the group, brother. I'm not playing around. I mean, like, we don't accept this type of behavior in this group. This is full of winners. So you gotta be careful, brother, because if you're doing these type of actions, you'll just get banned. I don't care if you pay me 10k, 20k or whatever. You're banned. So you only got a few chances left, brother. I told you yesterday, and you're not taking my advice. Right, cigar time. So, GG, what's your net worth? $1. Oh dear. Nah, he's not trolling. So, yeah, you gotta be careful, brother, because I gave you advice yesterday and you haven't taken it on board. I don't know what you think this is. This is a business. Minds, don't waste your energy. Don't ask him questions. Focus on yourself. Everyone needs to make sure you just focus on yourself. Sometimes we'll have people like this, you know. The issue is, GG, you're not sorry, because yesterday it may have been a mistake, but today was intentional. If someone repeats a habit more than once, then it's intentional. Well, repeats an action more than once, then it becomes a habit, which is intentional. But it's fine. I mean, I'm not worried at all. I don't give a flying rat. Everyone else will get paid out. You won't get paid out, brother. I've given you the advice. I'm not here to hold your hand. So we're waiting for the lunch macro now, okay? Wait for the lunch. Okay, so I'll keep my mic muted as of now until 11:35, and then I'll unmute. We'll do our bias, and then we'll look to see if there's any opportunities inside of the lunch macro. I'd like to see price trade towards sell side and take out obviously this point of sell stops, this point of sell stops, sell side, and then it will trade into the 5-minute bullish gap, which will form likely an overall bullish bias. So we'll see what you get as of that point. So I'll speak to you guys in a sec. Alright, yes guys, welcome back for the lunch macro. Thomas said I'm starting a few days ago. If you are profitable already, please react to this. Well, guys, let's show him. I mean, drop some fucking reactions on him. So, let's discuss what we can see for the lunch macro. Okay. So obviously, we have a clean point of sell side. And as of now, what have we seen for price? Well, we've traded higher, we've taken minor buy side. Let's look at our bias. So the 5 is still currently bearish of both the inverse of the bullish gap and out of this bearish gap. And then the 15 is currently bearish. And the daily is bearish. So we got a bearish bias as of now. Okay, so this would be the invalidation low. So let's wait towards the macro. Let's see if we get anything of interest. Tradeify growth, yeah, Tradeify growth is definitely the one which is the best. I personally bought 5 accounts under the Tradeify growth, and we're looking at passing that live together. So me and you guys to pass the Tradeify growth on Friday, if not Tuesday, as we spoke about already. A lot of people are talking about Lucid, so I'm going to be taking a look at that shortly as well. I'll also be looking at Funded Next, but there's also a lot of issues with Funded Next and limits on payouts. So I mean, if I can only take 30k from Funded Next, then I won't bother. I've not read into Lucid. Ryan said, does it offer 10 accounts? I mean, if it does, that will be absolutely great, won't it? But the only issue is they are a newer prop firm, so they probably have less liquidity, so less money to actually pay out. So with 10 accounts, they'll be more likely to drop you off a lot faster. Kevin said 5. Yeah, I thought it'd be 5. Not many prop firms have more than 5. So obviously a failed shift in structure on NQ. So we can see a second shift from this point, which would be fine. However, as a preference, I'd like it to take buy stops off the short-term high, and then we can look for an opportunity for shorts. Yeah, a couple of people asking Camilla for an update on the Apex payout. Haven't really heard of Camilla in a few days, actually. I don't know if it's a female or a male. I don't know. Camilla, that's a female's name, right? But she took a 40k payout. Milo, how did you do bias before the way I do bias now? So I used to get my bias purely off the 4-hour and the daily time frame, and that would be my overall draw for the New York session, and I wouldn't really tend to update it as much, but I would say that as each macro ticks on, so I go onto the second layer macro, I'd relook at the 4 and the daily. I'd only get my bias from daily and the 4-hour. I found that to be ineffective after around a year. Now I closed that in a lot of profit and I was doing well, but I was looking for improvements, and that's where I led up to the bias that I personally created. Okay, so ES does take that invalidation low, which you can see there. So we wouldn't look to take a short here, even if price offers a gap on both assets. Okay. So now I'd like to see price reach for buy stops, which would be at this high. So not only did ES take the invalidation low, but it's also a failed shift in structure as well. So that's the start of the lunch macro. If you guys got any questions that you'd like to ask, then feel free. You know, we're always open to questions. It's very important that you guys do ask. Marlo, how do you approach copy trading Apex accounts with trailing drawdown starting out? Well, Apex has a 2.5k drawdown on the 50k accounts, and then you're usually always going to be good with the trailing drawdown. It doesn't affect you at all. But obviously, if your trading drawdown does get affected, let's say you've only got 1.5k left of drawdown, then make sure you head towards half size. Milo, I sent message on Telegram the other day, but you didn't check it. Yeah, I don't look at Telegram. I mean, I barely even read messages from my own family, so I would never text you guys first as well. Make sure, I think there's someone at the moment just constantly trying to message you guys saying it's me. I mean, I would never text you guys first. So yeah, just be careful of that. But yeah, Adam, I mean, what's the question? What would you like to ask? How do you define bias to be neutral in any time frame? So when you have a bias, let's say you're bullish on a specific time frame, if price trades to a 5-minute high, so if we look at the bias on the 5 right now, it's currently bearish out of this gap, and it's bearish to where? The 5-minute low. So now we've actually met the low, we tapped the low, it got taken on a yes. That puts the 5 down to be neutral. That's how we get a neutral bias. And then if price trades back into that 5-minute bearish gap by taking buy stops from the failed shift on ES, then we'd have a bearish 5-minute bias again. So you can see the 15's bearish, the hourly is still bullish, the 5's neutral, and the 5 will go back to being obviously bearish in a minute as well. 4-hour time frame's neutral and the daily's bearish, so we do have a bearish bias right now, and then stronger bearish bias if the 5 trades back to this bearish gap on the 5 as well. Yeah, Adam, I'm recording for YouTube, so I can't talk about that topic, but you shouldn't have done it on Apex. So Apex, that's not how you pass Apex accounts, but it's fine. I would just activate the PA. But for passing TraderFi, Lucid, and Apex, that's not the way to pass. That's for Top Step, Take Profit, My Funded, and Alpha Futures. But it's fine, for now just activate the accounts. Yeah, it's all good, brother. Just activate the Apex accounts and you should be fine. Yeah, you can use Apex to bracket order NFP and CPI. That's the method. And that's also the one I can speak about on YouTube, obviously. Yeah, C4, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. It's all good. So obviously the failed shift on ES, invalidation low, sent price to buy stops. Now we've set buy stops. We would obviously be looking for shorts as of this point. So I'll speak to you guys in a second. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so pretty aggressive shift lower market structure on ES. As you can see on NQ, there's no shift in structure. Bitcoin 69. What decides that it is a Haley shift? I don't know what you mean by Haley. Never heard that in my life. Yeah, so obviously right now we have swept buy stops, and we do have obviously a bearish bias from the daily and the 15. and potentially the 5 as well if we take out these relative equal highs on NQ, which I still see price to draw, take out these relative equal on the 1 minute, and then buy stops. That's where we're looking for price to take. It will give us a bearish 5, and then we'll see if we get opportunity for shorts to target sell side. But to be honest, what I see now for NQ is that we're accumulating, so I'd like it to manipulate above the high and then distribute towards sell side, and that's where we could potentially get a model following our bearish bias. Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing today, guys, is after this lunch macro, so in 15 minutes, I'm going to make a steak with potatoes and whatever, and then I'm going to go from, yeah, so GG's got a question, that's fine. Yeah, I'll ask the question. You know, anyone who has a question, you don't need to ask the question, just put it in the chat, it's not a problem. And so nah, brother, don't be asking no stupid questions though. Don't piss me off. Alright, so that's what happens. GG got banned. He's banned, guys. He shouldn't have played games, you know, we tried to teach him yesterday. He couldn't control himself today outside of macro, or inside macro. He took trades that he shouldn't have. And then he just asked me, what if he steps on a rusty nail? I mean, hopefully, I don't give a fuck. So, he got banned. Don't play games, like, the guy's taking the piss. What a loser. Maybe he thought this was a joke. I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't care. So basically, in 13 minutes' time, we are going to be obviously hosting our backtesting session. I'll keep the Discord live, and I'll obviously unshare my screen for about 20 minutes. I'll keep the Discord live. I'm going to go make a steak with potatoes, and then once that's done, probably take about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I'll come back. We're going to backtest the whole of December, and then once that's finished, then we'll be done for the day. He texted me to tell you it was a real question. Yeah, but I'm not a fucking doctor. Like, people don't need to take the piss. Why would someone ask me after having stupid conversations like I had with him previously, and then ask me about stepping on a rusty needle? Who the fuck steps on a rusty needle as well? Like, what part of the world are you in to walk bare feet across? Like, this guy's lost the plot. But it's fine. aren't gonna drain energy from that situation. It's not a problem at all. I have nothing against him. It's just, obviously, we only accept serious people inside of this group, and hence why it's also going private as well soon. So we won't be accepting soon new people inside of this group. So it'll be private. We have the strongest community ever. Yeah, Jams, that's not a problem. So obviously right now price is accumulating, and we're going to look for manipulation. So I suspect price to reach towards buy stops, but we're not taking a position based on where price is likely to draw. I just see it likely to take buy stops here. And the only reason I say that is because we're seeing failed shifts lower in price. So we either take buy stops with our bearish buys, potentially get opportunity for shorts at the end part of this lunch macro, or not. And then we'll head on to our backtesting session. So last year, I closed out the year. I think I closed out around a 34, 35 R on 2025, which was a clean year. It was a little bit below average for what I got on the previous years whilst trading live, but still would have made you on 38 accounts, as I tell you guys, even without scaling, you'd make around $400,000. So that's pretty good income. I mean, that's 400k without scaling, and then with scaling you'd make around 800k. And if you added a few other prop firms like TraderFi, Lucid, and other prop firms that we haven't used, then you can get that up to $1 million. And also you have to bear in mind, when there's a sweep of buy stops there, you can see the relative equal highs got ran, and also adding into your live account as well, so you're building capital from your live account. So you can definitely see how you can get that to 1.2, 1.5 million on the year. That's where I've been at for the past year and a half. So recently I've started to scale up a little bit harder. Also, I got a lawyer to make me a contract so I can manage clients' funds under SMA. So yeah, we make progress step by step. But I started with just, one 50k account, which cost me $50, and you just have to work month by month. But you can't be like some people who really try to rush the process. Don't expect yourself to get max allocation off the bat unless you've got, a nice cash reserve at the start, which I didn't have. So I had to start with one account. I was still working, and then I took a couple payouts with that account, which funded more and more. And yeah, before you know it, we're going to be at the end of Q1. We're already 7 days. I'm on 7 days into January now, so that's already the first week of 2026, right? So the one thing I notice personally is that time's going to pass, and it's going to pass anyway. So I always knew, doesn't matter how bad your situation currently is, time's going to pass anyway. You can use that in all scenarios. But as long as you do the best job possible, as time passes, each day you do your best possible job. Like today, my best possible job would be that I complete December. I've been to the gym. I've bulked throughout the whole day. Been to the sauna. That's a productive day for me. I've also worked on creating the contract as well of the lawyer, so I just set tasks each day. It doesn't matter what task that you have set out for yourself, but you only have the day. And I've spoke to you guys about this before. It's not being motivational, but this is literally how you improve. Because if you say, someone's going to say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? As I say, I could be fucking dead. So you have today, right? And you always just work off today. And as C4 says, it's in the Bible as well, that you only have today, you don't have tomorrow, right? So it's difficult sometimes for some people to even see how can I improve 1% better, because they don't really reflect it in their life. But when you're in that position at the start, you just gotta do things that you know is gonna improve you, and you wouldn't usually do it. So if you didn't think you was gonna go to the gym today, you're gonna go regardless. Fuck the date with the female. Tell her that she's gonna have to wait. Matter of fact, sack her off if you're broke. She's not part of the plan, so I don't personally believe it's possible to have a female and put all work into business and have a female to stay at the same time. It doesn't really work. Like, you're either full on business or a no female, or you're with a female and you're not full on business. So I'm just telling you guys, I mean, that's how 99% of it works. I mean, maybe you'll have some crazy female who actually stays and you're just sat at your laptop for 16 hours and she gets no attention. Like, I don't even chat to her. They're going to leave. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I didn't bother with females at the start. I couldn't give a flying rat, So Sean fucked his girl off, yeah. Matter of fact, I broke up with 2 women, right, just before everything took off in my life, so it's great. It's like having a weight on your shoulder. I broke up with one female and then broke up with the other one a couple months later, and then that was it. And a week later I got paid. Titings hit different. Well, to be honest, brother, titings are not all that. They do hit different, yeah, but they're not like aesthetically pleasing compared to like Colombians and Venezuelans. Like, the women in Venezuela and half Colombian are the best, or if you get half Colombian, half Spanish, that's the best. But you can get some decent Thai women here. I mean, you have to definitely search for it. Okay, so that's the end of the lunch macro. So anyone who took an I for value gap short, they got stopped. Anyone who took this short, they got stopped. I think in the first macro there was another position maybe someone took. Yeah, potentially this one in the first, they got stopped. So obviously we are the best. So we just monitor price. Okay, and it didn't present any opportunities today. So hope you guys enjoyed this stream today. Today was a day of no positions, and as I said to you guys, obviously from the 10th, which will be of Monday next week, we'll start monitoring London, New York and PM. You're going to get paid out regardless from the New York. So if you can't make London, and this is my speech to those of you in the US, do not lose sleep to wake up for the London. It's not worth losing sleep for it. We're going to make more money, yes, but as of now, turn up for the New York and you'll get paid. And if you can do the PM as well, which you can in the US, then cool, monitor PM as well, make more money. But you will still get the same results, not the same results, but you'll still get paid and do very well off the New York. So yeah, it was good speaking with you guys today. We'll go live tomorrow, Wednesday. Obviously not monitoring price on Thursday because it's the day before NFP. And I'm going to continue this live stream as well, guys. So this live stream is not ending now. I'm just going to go make a steak, potatoes, and then we're going to start our backtesting session, okay? So we're going to backtest for about 2 hours, okay? And the backtesting session is going to be of December 2025, okay? I'll speak to you guys in a sec. So about 30 minutes. So give it about 1 a.m. Okay, so 1 p.m. EST. I'll be back.